Welcome back. So we're going to move on from where we stopped in the last video. If you remember, we talked about the lessons that you're going to learn in the course of this class. And one of those lessons is how to create documents. And you're going to learn how to enter text, how to add or delete text, how to move around in the document, how to save a document for the first time, how to save changes to a previously saved document, how to save a document with a new name, how to save a document in a different file format, how to close a document, how to open one or more documents, and how to switch between multiple documents. But our focus in this video will be on these things now. So you're going to learn how to enter a text and how to edit text, how to enter text and how to edit text. So we're going to be looking at the insertion point. We're going to be looking at how you can type text, how you can delete text. Then we're going to look at the word wrap feature. And we're also going to look at how to end word wrap or how to insert blank lines. So I'll just quickly show you a few things here before we start the practical. All right. So look at the insertion point here. It is just that vertical stroke that blinks on the document area. So we're going to be looking at it practically when we get there, but this is the picture. So this is what it looks like. All right. So I want to look at these two keys as well, backspace and the delete keys. We're going to be using these two keys to delete text. The backspace key would delete to the left, while the delete key would delete to the right. Then this last one, enter key, is what we're going to be using to end word wrap. And we use this also to insert blank lines or to move to the next paragraph. Okay, so look at all these keys very well. Don't forget that I've taught you earlier the functions of some of these keys. So we're going to be making use of those keys now as we move on in this class. So let's launch the Microsoft Word application now. You click Start button. As you can see, because I've been using the application, so I can find it on the most used applications. All right. So, but I'm not going to use this just to refresh your memory of the things I taught you earlier. So, because you might not find it right at this section in your own system there. So, but we're going to scroll down now. From the scroll bar, you scroll to W, which stands for Word. All right. So as you can see, this is Word 2016 under W. So I'm going to click it. As you can see, it's loading. Yeah. So we're there now. The application is right in front of us right away. And if you don't forget, the last time I taught you, I was teaching you on the different templates that we have on the Microsoft Word application. I told you that they are online, that you can't just get them offline, that you have to be online for you to be able to make use of them. Somebody will be wondering, are you online now? Yes, I am. If you look at this section now, you see that I'm online. Okay. Now we're going to move on right away, and we're going to be opening a blank document because that is what we want to use. We are not working from any template. So I'm going to select the blank document right away. I've clicked it and I'm now on the Word environment. I taught you in the last video that The white space here is your workspace. That is where you put the content that you want to process. Don't forget that Microsoft Word is your word processor. So the content you want to process, you put it on the white space, all right, that you're looking at here. Now, the first thing I want to show you is that insertion point that I talked about earlier. Can you see the stroke blinking here now? It's like a vertical bar that is blinking. All right, this is what we call insertion point. Okay, so anytime you type a text, that insertion point moves to the right. Okay, so you need to understand that. So having said that, we're going to move on now to type text. So this is the first text we're going to type. And I would want you to do the same thing you see me do right away, because this is practical now. Okay. So we're going to be typing. And you will need the skills that you learned when I taught you how to make use of your keyboard and your mouse. Okay. So by default, when you type, the first word you type will be capitalized. That is the first letter of that word. So if I type D and I strike my space bar, you will see that the T has been capitalized. Okay? So it's by default on Microsoft Word. Okay? So, but on a normal ground, you don't have to wait for Microsoft Word to do that for you. So how do you generate that? To generate a capital letter, you hold the Shift key on your keyboard. That is, you press it down, you won't drop it, then you press the letter. All right? So if I want to type capital T, I'll hold my Shift key and I'll type T. So you can do the same. You'll see that it's going to give you that. So that is if you want to just type one capital letter. But if you want to type D, that is THE in capital, so you don't have to hold the Shift key. There's another key on your keyboard called caps lock. That's what you're going to use. It means you want to start typing capital letters. So that's what you're going to make use of. But if you just want to type the beginning of a word in capital letter, you just hold your Shift key down, then you strike that letter and you're going to have it as capital. Then you can continue to type. You drop your Shift key and you begin to type the rest in small letters. But if you want everything to be in capital letters, you would press the caps lock key. And on most keyboards, once you press the caps lock key, you're going to see the light, being displayed, that it's on now. So it's an on and off thing. So if it's on, you see the light. If it's off, the light goes off. Okay? So I'm going to erase this. So let's try that caps lock now. You can press it. Once you strike that key, that is caps lock, you see the light come up. It means it's on now. So I'm going to type THE now. You see that everything is in capital letters. Well, I see some people do this sometimes. He wants to type D, but he wants only the first letter to be capital. Well, he still goes ahead to strike the caps lock, then type T, then off it, and type the remaining small letters. That is wrong. That's not the ideal way of doing that. What you do is that you hold the Shift key down, then you strike the letter T, then you drop your Shift key and type the rest. That's the way to do it. All right. So now that you've learned how to type the capital letter and the small letters so we can move on now. Okay? So I'm going to erase this. So you can now follow me. We're going to type some words now. I'll just pick something and, type it. So you can follow me as I type. So you know how to type now. So let's type this. The man has been waiting for me. Full stop. He can't afford. Let's use he cannot. He cannot afford to wait further. Just make sure you arrive early to meet. As you can see now, if you observe well, you see that at the point that you type M, the next E that I typed moved me to the next line. I did not do anything to it. That thing was done automatically. So this is what we call word wrap. So this feature is on Microsoft Word by default. So when you type text and the insertion point gets to the end of a line, then it moves to the next line automatically. You don't have to do anything to it before it moves. So if the word you're trying to type will not, if that line will not be able to accommodate the next word you want to type, it moves it to the next line. So it's going to shift that word to the next line. So if you look at it now, I typed M and I wanted to put E-E-T. But now as I typed E, it moved me to the next line. That means that space is not, big enough to accommodate meet. So it moves me to the next line automatically. I didn't do anything. That's the way Microsoft Word works. So you need to master that. So that's what we call word wrap feature. Okay? So I'm sure you've learned that now. So I'll continue. Arrive early to meet the man. I have tried entertaining him, but he refused to take anything from me. I guess he's angry with you. As you can see now, you see that I didn't do anything before with you moved to the next line. So that is how Microsoft Word works. You don't have to do anything. But now let's now assume that with you will be the last word for me as far as this paragraph is concerned. So I don't want to continue again. So the next thing I want to type, I don't want it to be on the same line with you. So what will I do? All I need to do is to now end the word wrap. How do I end it now? I will use the enter key on my keyboard. The enter key. So if I want to go to the next paragraph now, I'm going to hit the enter key. And as you can see, look at the insertion point now. It has moved to the next paragraph. So that ended the word wrap automatically. So this is what you need to understand. All right. So this enter key could also be used to insert or create blank lines. All right. Can use it to create blank lines. So if I want to move to another line now, a blank line, I'll still hit the enter key. You see that it has moved to another line. I want one more, I'll use enter key again. As you can see, I've created blank lines now, like 3 blank lines. Okay? So you need to understand that. So now, the next thing I want to teach you is to delete text now. How to delete text. So I've typed all these things now. You can move your mouse pointer around. So look at all this. I've typed all this. But let's assume that I don't want this as here. Peradventure, I don't want it. Maybe I mistakenly typed it and I want to remove it. How do I do that? What I need to do now is to determine which of the 2 keys that can be used to delete text I'm going to use. Which of them do I want to use? Is it the delete key or the backspace key? So that will determine where I'm going to place my insertion point. Okay? So if I want to delete to the right of the insertion point for this as now, it means I have to place the insertion point just before H. And look at it. So all you need to do is to bring your mouse pointer just beside H and click there. Can you see it now? So now if I want to delete as now, you see that as is by the right of the insertion point. So, and by the definition I gave you the other time, that delete key deletes to the right of the insertion point. So it means what can delete as now is the delete key, not backspace key, because backspace key would delete to the left. So it means if I strike the backspace key now, it will be deleting to the left. That means if I start striking that key, it will start deleting towards man. But if I strike the delete key, it's going to be deleting HAS, which is as. So let's try it now. So you can hit the delete key now. Just strike it. Can you see now? That is deleting to the right. That's the delete key. Okay? Can you see? I've removed that. Now, if I still want to delete bin, now that's an exercise for you. So which key are you going to use to delete bin? Bin. Okay, one side. You're going to use delete key. Okay? You're still going to use the delete key because you're still deleting to the right. What if you want to delete the word man? What key are you going to use? You're going to use backspace key because you're deleting to the left of the insertion point. So I want to delete man now. So I'm going to use backspace key to do that. So I'm striking it now. As you can see, I've taken it out. So that's how to delete text. Okay? That's how to do what? Delete text. So each of these deletes one character at a time. So including space that I created between the words. All right? So it will see that space as a character. Okay? So to delete bin, you will see that between my insertion point and bin, there is a space. So for me to get to bin, I'll have to strike twice. So the first strike would delete the space before bin. Look at it now. I'll hit it now. Can you see that? That's deleted the space. So if I want to delete the B now, I'll still hit the delete key once. You see that it has taken away the B character, and I can do the same for the rest. I'll delete the space. So this is how you can delete. All right? So I'm still going to teach you how to, delete more than one word at a time, or more than a character at a time. But I'm going to teach you that after I've taught you how to move around within the document. Okay? So I think we're going to stop this video here, and in the next video we're going to move on from there. So see you in the next video. Thank you.